All right, let's kick it on down, Shane, to Columbia, Missouri. Where last time, hey, we got a surprise from old Drink and the Tigers because we hopped off the line and they had already named Brady Cook starting quarterback right as we were winding down. And I swear we weren't drunk. We were just kind of acting like it. We had shut our brains off. We were reacting to the news. But now that we've had some time to digest and think about it, Shane, I went back and watched Missouri and the Army in the bowl game. Unfortunately, Missouri lost that game, but that was Brady Cook's only start of his career. And the main takeaway, Shane, Brady Cook, the game was not too big for him. And that's what I always look for in a young quarterback, how they react to be put in that prime position for the first time in their career. The moment was not too big for him. Like I said, he led Missouri on a game-winning touchdown drive. Unfortunately, Army, drove the length of the field and kicked the game-winning field goal, but you sure as hell can't put that on your starting quarterback.
Right.
And another big takeaway, I forgot how mobile he was, Shane. He had a big 30-yard touchdown run, and that is something that we'll get to here in just a second with Drink. Kind of talks up Brady Cook and his mobility, but man, this is the start of something, a little buzz here for the Missouri Tigers and getting the ball rolling. And just the fact that this is a Missouri kid who it just means, it's so cheesy, the SEC, it just means more. But I think it means more to be the starting quarterback for Missouri than it would for Brady Cook, than it would a lot of other players, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yesterday, after careful consideration, made the decision to name Brady Cook our starting quarterback. When we look at the starting quarterback position, we really evaluate 5 key things. We start with toughness, both mental and physical, the ability to perform at your full God-given ability regardless of the circumstance. And Brady, as well as all of the quarterbacks that we have demonstrated these 5 characteristics, but these are the things that we really evaluate. Preparation, spending the extra time, understanding not only the playbook, but the preparation of understanding your teammates, who they are, what are the matchups, are you spending time in the film room? Decision making, when the ball is in your hand, what do you do? All right, we can coach you up all the way up until the ball is snapped, but you got to have a decision-making mechanism that you're going to take care of the football and take care of your team. And then accuracy, ball placement. There's no defense for the perfect throw, and so we got to have pinpoint accuracy right there. And then the last thing is leadership, which for us is set the example and then bring others with you. All right, set the example of what it means to be a great teammate, but then you got to bring other people with you. And he never shied away from the competition. He kept working. He kept putting in those extra hours. Spent hours in the film room on Sunday, during the summer. Was here every Saturday with his teammates, leading, making sure we were throwing, making sure we were doing the things that we needed to do. It matters to him to be the starting quarterback at the University of Missouri, and I'm excited that he's our starting quarterback. I know I can lay my head on the pillow knowing that he's going to give us and all these fans in this state everything he's got. So with that, it's going to be his job. Like I told him last night, it's my job to get him to start it, and I've done that. He's earned it. It's up to him to finish. And it's up to him to finish the job at quarterback. And so,
Eli, I don't know if you had a time frame coming in for when you wanted to be settled on a guy, but did you make this decision sooner than you expected to at all?
Yeah, maybe so. I actually thought the competition was really good. We went live with everybody on Sunday. All the quarterbacks were live, and just felt like, really after Sunday, came back Monday, Brady had a really good day Sunday in that live scrimmage, taking hits, making plays with his feet, leading the offense on scoring drives. And then I thought he came back the next day and just had another good day, stacked some good days together. And at that point, I just felt like for us offensively and for this team to take the next step, let's solidify who our quarterback was, eliminate the questions and the indecision. And that's what they pay me to do. They pay me to make decisions, and so we made it, and we're going to move forward.
Behind Brady, will those guys keep competing? Is that an ongoing thing that can go on?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll go on all year, but absolutely, I think Sam Horn has done an excellent job since he's been here. I mean, he is a lot further ahead than I kind of expected, to be honest, coming out of not being here and seeing a guy that just shows up in the summer and then gets his fall camp. But he still has his rookie moments, and so we're still letting him just grow into the best version of himself on a daily basis, trying to make sure that we get those young guys. There's a lot of really good young players on our team, but the thing they have to have is reps, reps, reps. So we're prioritizing at the end of every practice, making sure they get reps. Tyler Macon has done everything we've asked him to do. And so has Jack, and both of those guys were disappointed. And I told them, if you weren't disappointed, you don't have the right kind of makeup to be the quarterback. And so they're absolutely disappointed. But they both bounced back today with really good energy and understand that this team's on a bigger mission. And I know both of those guys and all three of those guys will be ready if their number's called.
His ability there and that athleticism, I think, surprised a lot of people who maybe hadn't seen him play. I mean, was that something that you saw even his freshman year, that, hey, this is something he's got?
Yeah, I mean, redheads are great athletes, man. I don't know why everybody's surprised by that. No, I think that's kind of when you look at his numbers in the weight room with Coach Russ, I mean, he's got a great vertical jump. He's one of the 15, maybe 20th fastest players on our teams. When you look at his 40 times, he's got incredible strength numbers. He works at everything you ask him to do. I mean, the dude's going to graduate with a degree in December in 3.5 years. I mean, and most people don't know this, but he graduated early. Chaminade had never let it happen before. He actually graduated, got his GED to come to school here and enroll early, and then they retroed back his degree from Chaminade. So like it means something for him to be here. So yeah, Mama Cook's not real happy about that story, but Jim was fine with it.
How about it, Shane? Redheads are great athletes, according to Old Drink.
Yeah, that's right. Big Red getting the starting position. This is what I love to hear, man. It's a success story, and this is one that maybe we look back here in a few games, and we're saying, you know what, this kid wanted it more, and that's kind of what I felt when Drink was talking here. Is this guy put the time in, and maybe he is setting an example for other players on that program that, hey, man, if you work hard enough, you will get an opportunity to play, because sometimes, these kids, they're told their whole lives how great they are, and they don't feel like they have to put in that extra step when they're in college, that it's just going to be given to them because it's been given to them. But it's not, man. And I love the fact that you reward hard play, you reward hard work, and this is. And who knows, man? I mean, it may play off on the field. I mean, I'd like to see this success story go. And we look back, and Mizzou had a great run in the SEC East. That who knows what's going to happen out of this. But if I got anything from this, especially when he's on a recruiting trail, says, hey, man, I understand you're a 3-star, or I understand you're a 2-star, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. And if you put in the work, you're going to have an opportunity to play here at the Tigers. And I think that speaks well. When he's in a living room talking to these parents, I know it sounds corny and it sounds cheesy, but, this means more to the parents than it does the actual players sometimes.
One final clip here I wanted to play from Drink, Shane. This truly is genius, so I really wanted to highlight it. I don't know if you've seen it, Shane, but Let Brady Cook is a hashtag that's popular right now with the Missouri fan base. and Drink kind of plays on that, talks about the business opportunities for their starting quarterback now. Let's kick it over one more time to Drink.
Did any of that surprise you at all? I mean, he went through a coaching change before he got here, and a lot of guys aren't sticking around through a lot of that in this day and age.
No, I mean, I think he's a great young man of character. Obviously, it's a tribute to his parents, who've done just a great job of raising him. Again, it means something for him to be here at the University of Missouri. And man, I can't wait to see the restaurants line up for the Brady Cook endorsements.
All right, Shane. So why I really wanted to highlight this is obviously we're in a new era with the portal and the NIL and all that. Like Drink, he does not reference NIL here, but that's clearly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 5-10 years ago, we have a quarterback competition come to an end, and then the head coach is sitting here saying, now businesses, get in on this. And that's something, if I'm Missouri, I'm plastering that to all the recruits in the country that, hey, not only do we take care of you, but, we are wise enough to say, now that you're the starting quarterback for the Missouri Tigers, you're a homegrown kid, let these businesses take advantage of that. And obviously the player's going to profit from that more than anybody. But I just think that's ingenious, Shane, to kind of get the ball rolling going into the season. Let Brady cook. I mean, how many businesses are jumping at the opportunity to throw money at this kid now? And again, I just think it's a genius marketing and credit for the head coach to call attention to it.
Well, and I will say, man, there was a lot of talk in the offseason. The reason they didn't get some of these quarterbacks in the portal was because there wasn't those NIL opportunities. So,
right,
I like this. You gotta remind these boosters, hey, if we want to compete, if you want us to be good, we're going to need your help. So I think this is genius, and you got to get all the plugs and advertising you can get, because if everybody buys in up there in Columbia, then they truly can they truly can compete in the East,
Right, and just if you're looking at it from a business's perspective, Shane, it's like, do you give the money to Cook? Do you give it to Tyler Macon? Do you give it to Jack Abram? Do you give it to the star freshman Sam Horn?
Yeah.
You don't know which one's going to be a good investment. And this is just Drinkwitz saying, well, hell, here's your answer right here. This is the guy that's going to be on the field making the plays. So go ahead and hand him some money. And again, I think it's a tremendous idea to plug a player, so to speak, right after he wins a competition. And I would think if you're a Missouri Tiger, hell, who knows? They all want to see the field. They're all fighting for competition. Yeah. But when they know that their damn coach is going to come out here and say, businesses, support this guy with NIL right after they win a job. I mean, if that don't motivate you, nothing will. You know what I mean?
Well, and I didn't know how this conversation was going to go. When we found out the news, I fully was expecting, well, it's still a competition and blah, 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 the same old coach speak. Mm-hmm. I just love the confidence that Eli came out with. This is my guy. This is his job to lose. And that I just think that speaks volumes to the confidence they have in Cook, man.
Mm-hmm.